Hello there, dreamer. Welcome back to SleepLab Science, the little nighttime corner where curiosity slows down and the universe becomes soft enough to fall asleep to. I'm so glad you're here. Take a moment to settle in. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breath float gently in and out. There's nothing you need to do now except rest, listen, and sink into a world of quiet wonder. Tonight, we're drifting into a realm both familiar and astonishing: the hidden lives of birds. Creatures we see almost every day, perched on rooftops, gliding over fields, singing at dawn. Yet behind their delicate wings lies a universe of mysteries, stranger, deeper, and more breathtaking than most people ever imagine. Birds are more than gentle companions of the morning sky. They are explorers, architects, dancers, navigators, and sometimes master strategists of the natural world. They read magnetic fields like maps, cross oceans with a single determination, build palaces out of twigs, and teach their young with a tenderness that feels almost human. Some outsmart predators with illusions, some mimic sounds with impossible accuracy, and some perform rituals so mesmerizing that scientists still don't fully understand them. Tonight, we'll glide quietly into their world, a soft, feathered universe full of secrets. We'll peel back the layers of instinct and intelligence. We'll wander through dark forests where birds whisper warnings we can't hear. We'll hover above mountains where tiny wings beat faster than the human eye can follow. And we'll drift over oceans where travelers of the sky navigate by starlight, moonlight, and memories older than history itself. All you have to do is rest, slow down, and let the gentle rhythm of these stories lull your mind into calmness. Let each fact feel like a warm breeze. Let every mystery float through you like a feather. Let the soft flutter of wings ease the noise in your thoughts. Because when we look closely, birds are not just animals, they are living poems, drifting through the air, carrying secrets of evolution, survival, and ancient knowledge. Their lives remind us that the world is full of hidden intelligence, delicate resilience, and quiet beauty, waiting patiently beneath the everyday rush of life. So, as the night deepens and your breathing grows softer, let's step into this feather-light realm together. A calm, enchanted, slow-moving journey into the most relaxing mysteries of the avian world. Welcome to the quiet place between wonder and sleep. Welcome to SleepLab Science, Part 1, The Secret Intelligence of Birds. If you listen closely, not with your ears, but with that softer, quieter place inside your mind, you might notice that birds have always carried a subtle kind of intelligence that moves gently beneath the surface of the world. It reveals itself in small moments: a quick turn of the head, a sudden shift in flight, a call repeated in a pattern only its own kind understands. These hints of awareness shimmer like light on water, delicate, transient, but undeniably real. For a long time, humans misunderstood this intelligence. Because birds are small, light, and fragile, many people assumed that they must also be simple. But nature loves to hide its most impressive miracles in unassuming shapes, and birds, with their hollow bones and soft feathers, hold entire worlds of cognition inside their tiny skulls. Join me now as we sink gently into their hidden brilliance. Some species memorize dozens, even hundreds of feeding sites, recalling not just where food was hidden, but when it was hidden, and whether it will still be edible hours or days later. Others use tools, bending twigs into hooks to reach insects deep inside bark. Crows recognize human faces, remember kindness or danger, and even teach their young who to trust. There are birds that plan ahead, a trait once believed to be uniquely human. Western scrub jays, for instance, hide different kinds of food in different places depending on what they expect to need tomorrow. This means they imagine a future version of themselves, a quiet echo of consciousness that ripples gently through their minds. And communication. Oh, their communication is extraordinary. Songbirds produce patterns with rhythm, repetition, and structure that mimic the foundations of music. Parrots learn and improvise new sounds. Ravens speak through body language as expressive as a whispered dialogue. We often think of birdsong as something pretty, but beneath the melody lies a sophisticated language of warnings, invitations, boundaries, and emotions. A gentle chirp, a sharp call, a complicated sequence that tells a mate where food is hidden, or signals to the flock that a predator is near. Birds think, they remember, they feel. Their minds flutter quietly under their feathers, like small lanterns glowing in the dusk. Tonight, as we travel through their world, imagine each wingbeat as a soft punctuation mark in a sentence written by evolution, and let the calm wisdom of birds wash over you like a cool night breeze. Let this be your first step into the soft, quiet, intelligent heart of the avian universe. Part 2. Mysteries of Survival. The art of living lightly. While birds may look delicate, feathers like silk, bones like hollow reeds, they are incredible survivors. Their entire existence is an intricate balancing act between energy and fragility, caution and curiosity, danger and grace. In this part of our journey, let your breath slow and imagine yourself drifting beside them, gliding through their world as weightlessly as a feather. Survival, for birds, is a masterpiece painted in motion. Some live in frozen Arctic tundras where wind slices across vast stretches of ice. Yet they thrive there, wrapped in soft layers of thermal feathers so perfectly arranged that even the harshest cold cannot pierce through. Others nest in deserts where the sun bleaches everything to gold and silence, and still they endure, conserving water drop by invisible drop. There are tiny hummingbirds whose hearts beat more than 1,000 times per minute. And there are great soaring albatrosses who can glide for hours, letting the wind cradle them effortlessly across oceans. Each species holds a different secret, a different survival story carried like a quiet melody through time. Some birds deceive predators with illusions, pretending to be injured to lure danger away from their young, or using camouflage so perfect that they melt into bark, sand, or shadow. Others rely on cooperation. They warn one another of threats. They hunt in synchronized formation. They share the responsibility of raising chicks. Even more mysterious are the birds that can sense the Earth's magnetic field. Deep inside their eyes, molecules respond to invisible forces, allowing them to see direction like a soft overlay of color or glow, a kind of instinctual compass guiding them through storms, mountains, and endless oceans. Imagine that for a moment. Every wingbeat supported by the pull of an unseen map, every migration a quiet dialogue with the planet itself. Survival is not just endurance for birds. It is a dance, gentle, fluid, elegant. Their lives remind us that strength doesn't always come from armor or size. Sometimes it comes from lightness, from adaptability, from the ability to move with the world rather than fight against it. As you listen to these stories, let them soothe you. Let them teach you that resilience can be soft, that persistence can be quiet, and that survival, when done gracefully, can look a lot like art. Part 3. The Silent Hunters of the Sky. Now the night deepens, and we drift into a darker part of the avian world, a realm where speed, strategy, and silence shape the lives of birds who move like shadows through the air. Not all birds are gentle singers or delicate wanderers. Some are hunters, elegant, precise, and almost supernatural in their abilities. Imagine an owl perched on a branch at midnight. Everything is still, everything is quiet. Yet the owl hears everything: the rustle of leaves, the twitch of a small creature beneath the snow, the distant echo of tiny footsteps. Owls fly without sound, a miracle of feather design that breaks up air turbulence so gently that even the wind cannot hear them pass. To prey, they arrive like a whisper, like a cool breath, like a thought forming in the darkness. Hawks and falcons, on the other hand, are masters of speed. A peregrine falcon diving from the sky becomes the fastest animal on Earth, over 300 kilometers per hour, slicing through the air as if gravity were its partner. Their eyes are miracles of evolution, detecting movement from impossible distances, tracking prey with precision so sharp it feels unreal. But the mystery of avian hunters goes deeper. Some species coordinate attacks, each bird moving as if connected by invisible threads. Others distract their prey with false signals. Some wait motionless for hours, conserving every drop of energy before striking with sudden, breathtaking precision. And yet, even in their fierceness, there is a strange gentleness in their design. Their wings curve like brushstrokes. Their movements flow like water. Their power hides within grace, not brutality. This balance between softness and sharpness, silence and speed is what makes avian predators so mesmerizing. So let this part of the journey lull you deeper into calmness. Let the steady rhythm of their flight slow your breathing. Let the quiet elegance of their hunting rituals soothe you. Because even in nature's most intense moments, there is beauty. And even in the stillness of night, there are stories unfolding in the air above us. As the hunters glide into the shadows, we follow them slowly, softly, into the next mystery waiting just beyond the horizon. Part 4. Rituals of Love. The enchanted courtship of birds. If you've ever wandered through a quiet forest at sunrise, you might have heard it, the gentle layering of songs rising like a warm mist. These melodies aren't random. They're invitations, they're declarations, they're delicate rituals of love drifting through the morning air. Welcome to one of the most mesmerizing mysteries in the avian world. The courtship dances, displays, and dramas that unfold with a beauty almost too intricate for words. Birds do not choose a mate by accident. Every bow, every flick of a feather, every note in a song tells a story of survival, of evolution, and of longing. Let's slow down together, breathe softly, and step gently into this shimmering world of avian romance. Many birds perform choreography that looks like art. The birds of paradise, hidden in deep tropical forests, twist and shimmer in neon colors, transforming their bodies into shapes that feel almost unreal. They hop, glide, and unfold their feathers like velvet fans, a dance crafted across millions of years of evolution. Elsewhere on Earth, bowerbirds become architects of passion. They don't just build nests. They build temples decorated with berries, stones, flowers, and shimmering objects gathered from the forest floor. Colors matter. Placement matters. Every detail is a quiet message whispered to a watching female. I can create beauty. I can protect. I can provide. And then there are the singers, the gentle poets of the animal kingdom. Male nightingales, finches, robins, and countless other songbirds shape their calls into intricate patterns. They practice for months. They adjust pitch, rhythm, and cadence. Their songs are not simple. They are carefully crafted serenades. Imagine that for a moment. A tiny bird, no larger than your hand, creating a complete musical composition with the same precision a human musician might use. For other species, the ritual becomes a duet, a conversation between partners. Two birds singing back and forth, weaving their voices together into a single braided melody. Love, in the avian world, is patient. It is detailed. It is vulnerable and daring and endlessly creative. Some birds dance across water. Others paint the air with movement. Some bow their heads in gentle respect. Others vibrate their feathers to create soft humming sounds that resonate like whispers. And underneath all of it lies a simple truth. Birds show their love with the full expression of who they are. Their color, their voice, their movement, their skill. Nothing is hidden. Everything is offered. As we drift through these moments, let the tenderness of their rituals touch something soft within you. Let their dances slow your thoughts. Let their songs quiet your mind. Because in watching birds find one another, we remember something deep. That connection can be gentle, beauty can be quiet, and love in all its forms is one of the oldest languages on Earth. Part 5: Architects of Air and Earth, the Art of Building Nests. Now, let us glide deeper into another marvel of the avian world, one that reveals patience, craftsmanship, and elegant ingenuity. The art of building nests. Birds build not only shelters, but sanctuaries, soft, hidden, carefully engineered homes where new life begins fragile, warm, protected beneath layers of woven care. As we enter this part of the story, allow your breath to slow, as if you're settling into a nest of your own. Some species weave grass and twigs into spiraling orbs suspended from branches, swaying like lanterns in the wind. Others carve hollows into trees, creating chambers of wood and shadow lined with feathers or soft moss. There are birds who construct floating nests on water perfectly balanced to rise and fall with every gentle ripple. Some, like the sociable weaver, build enormous communal homes, vast structures that last for generations. These nests are so large they create entire ecosystems inside their chambers: warm pockets for raising young, cool zones for resting, hidden roots for protection. It is architecture shaped not by blueprints, but by intuition and instinct as old as time. Other birds demonstrate extraordinary precision. Take the ovenbird, for example. It constructs clay and mud nests shaped like small domes, complete with doorways and internal rooms. They look like miniature houses, because they are. Then, in the treetops, hummingbirds work with the softness of dreamscapes. They collect spider silk, yes, spider silk, weaving it into nests so light and flexible that they stretch as the chicks grow. Feathers, lichens, fibers, each placed gently, lovingly, delicately. The more you look, the more astonishing it becomes. There are birds who decorate their nests, birds who disguise their nests, birds who build new nests every season, not out of necessity, but out of renewal, renewing the cycle of life through the ritual of creation. In these structures, you'll find lessons written in nature's quiet handwriting. You'll see that patience is powerful, that small actions, one twig, one feather, one thread at a time, build wonders, and that even fragile things, when crafted with care, can hold the weight of life. As the night deepens, let the imagery of these nests cradle you. Let the softness soothe you. Let the gentle repetition of building twig by twig, breath by breath, settle your mind into stillness. Because every nest is a reminder that safety can be built gently, that home can be shaped through love, and that even in the vastness of the sky, every creature needs a place to rest. Part 6: The Great Migration, Journeys Written in the Wind. Now, allow your mind to lift, softly, weightlessly, as we follow one of the most breathtaking mysteries in nature, a ritual older than human memory, the great migrations of birds. Imagine a world map stretching beneath you, blue oceans like endless silk, continents rising like quiet shadows. And across these vast distances, tiny glowing threads of movement weaving the earth together. Those threads are birds traveling thousands of miles with nothing but their wings, their instincts, and the whisper of the planet's magnetic fields to guide them. Some species migrate alone, gliding silently through moonlit skies. Others move in great formations, elegant V-shapes cutting across the horizon, each bird helping reduce the wind resistance for the one behind it. It is teamwork. It is endurance. It is the poetry of motion written across the open air. Birds navigate using tools we barely understand. They follow the sun's position at different times of day. They read the stars at night. They sense atmospheric pressure as if listening to the heartbeat of the sky. Some scientists believe they even feel the Earth's magnetic fields, seeing invisible lines of direction glowing faintly through their vision. And somehow, impossibly, they return to the same exact tree, riverbank, or coastline year after year, as if the world whispers their path to them. The journey is full of danger, storms, predators, exhaustion, hunger, yet they continue not because they choose to, but because migration is part of who they are. woven into their very being. Swallows cross deserts. Sandpipers cross oceans. Arctic terns travel from the top of the world to the bottom, experiencing more daylight than any other creature on the planet. Their journeys are quiet miracles. Miracles performed by beings who weigh less than a handful of leaves. And as we float with them through this gentle chapter, let your breath follow their rhythm, steady, patient, consistent. Let the vastness of their journey open something peaceful inside you. Remember this. Even the smallest wings can cross the greatest distances. Even the quietest travelers can make the longest journeys. And sometimes, the act of moving forward, slowly and softly, is its own kind of strength. Part 7. The Silent Architects of the Air. How birds reshape the skies with unseen choices, quiet impulses, and delicate instincts. Imagine, for a moment, a vast open sky, a space so wide and undisturbed that every feathered movement becomes a message written on blue parchment. Here, drifting almost unnoticed above distant forests, certain species of birds practice behaviors so subtle that they often escape human observation. These are the silent architects, birds whose decisions, while small and gentle, gradually shape the atmosphere itself. They do not carve stone or raise towers. They build patterns, currents, pathways, and rhythms that other creatures follow. 1. Air highways only birds can see. Some bird species do not simply migrate. They engineer invisible highways in the air. They ride warm thermals rising from sunlit soil. They follow ribbons of wind that stretch across continents. They map humidity gradients, subtle pressures, and faint magnetic lines. Humans see the sky as an empty canvas, but to these birds, it is a dense network of signals, glowing softly in colors we cannot perceive. And as they glide, again and again, year after year, they reinforce these aerial routes like pilgrims, smoothing ancient paths beneath their feet. 2. Shaping weather through motion. Though delicate and light, large flocks influence the very air they move through. A murmuration of starlings creates waves of air pressure. A spiral of vultures stirring a thermal can amplify its strength. A chain of geese in a V formation reduces resistance for miles. These aren't just responses to weather. These are gentle contributions to weather. Even in silence, their wings whisper to the atmosphere. Every synchronized shift redistributes warmth, moisture, and flow. They are not aware of their effect. And yet, like tiny celestial engineers, they quietly sculpt the medium they live in. 3. The way birds choose their place in the sky. Not all birds occupy the same altitude. Some prefer the warm, buzzing layer close to the treetops. Some hover at mid-sky highways where insects drift. Some ascend to breathtaking heights where the air thins and cold bites at their feathers. This vertical zoning is not random. It is a gentle choreography designed over millennia. Small birds stay low for safety. Larger soaring species prefer the uplift of high thermals. Night migrators rise to avoid predators, guided by constellations. Like a city with many floors, the sky becomes a layered habitat, each level humming with its own rules, relationships, and hidden negotiations. 4. The secret purpose of sky circles. Many birds circle before landing. Some circle before taking off. Some circle simply to see. But these loops in the air offer more than orientation. They teach the sky how to hold them. A circle redistributes weight and gently stretches the air around the bird. It creates a soft pocket, a familiar cushion, a safe place to descend or rest, like smoothing a pillow before sleep. 5. The song of air pressure. To certain birds, subtle changes in air pressure are like melodies. A slight dip means a storm is coming. A sharp rise means the day will be clear. A gentle ripple signals warm winds moving in. Humans need tools and charts. Birds simply feel it. Their bodies, hollow-boned and feather-light, become tuning forks for the sky's music. They respond in small ways, changing routes, adjusting height, altering pace. And through these micro-decisions, they sculpt the sky's daily dance. Part 8. The secret lives of avian minds. The quiet intelligence, emotional landscapes, and strange reasoning of birds. Now, let us descend from the open sky, slipping gently into the inner world, where the mind of a bird hums with astonishing depth and quiet mystery. Birds think in a language without words. They navigate with memory older than nations. They make decisions guided by instincts that act like tiny sparks of ancient wisdom. Tonight, we wander through the soft corridors of their cognition. 1. Memory woven. From light and smell, birds remember with a different architecture than humans. Instead of filing away images and sentences, they store memories as patterns of light, textures of wind, scents carried on humidity, the angle of a sunrise, the feeling of distance rather than the number of miles. A migrating bird might remember an entire coastline simply by how the air felt on its chest. For them, memory is not a story, it is a sensation, and that sensation guides them more reliably than any map. 2. Emotional weather inside a bird's heart. Birds experience stress, calm, curiosity, and comfort, but these states flow through them like weather. A sudden gust of fear fades quickly. A ray of curiosity warms them for minutes at a time. A gentle satisfaction settles in after a successful foraging trip. They do not carry heavy emotional histories the way humans do. Instead, their hearts are light, allowing them to make decisions with remarkable clarity. To watch them is to witness emotion in its most ephemeral, drifting form. Soft, unburdened, momentary, like clouds dissolving in sunlight. 3. The problem-solving bird. Some birds, especially crows and parrots, think several steps ahead. A crow will hide food and check if another crow was watching. If so, it will move the food later. This is not instinct alone, it is strategy. A parrot can plan how to free a trapped object. A raven can use tools. They observe, experiment, adjust. And they do it all with a kind of calm, patient intelligence, as though their thoughts drift gently, suspended in the air around them. 4. Dreaming in feathers. Birds dream. During REM sleep, finches replay songs they learned earlier that day. Owls twitch as though swooping through imaginary forests. Chicks practice flying motions before they ever leave the nest. To dream is to rehearse life, to relive lessons, to strengthen memory. And somewhere inside those dreams, something magical happens. Birds refine their skills without moving a single feather. Sleep becomes not only a refuge, but a quiet classroom. 5. A mind that speaks in direction. Birds communicate through direction as much as sound. A slight tilt of the head can warn of danger. A brief shift in altitude might signal opportunity. A small widening of the flight path can invite others to follow. Direction becomes language. Motion becomes meaning. And in this flowing choreography, their minds unfold outward, thinking not just with their brains, but with every soft, fluid movement of their wings. Part 9. The hidden social worlds of birds. The cultures, friendships, rivalries, and unspoken agreements shared among flocks. Even as night deepens and the world grows still, the social lives of birds continue quietly in the branches, in the reeds, and under the moonlit sky. Bird societies are delicate and complex, driven by instincts yet shaped by subtle relationships. 1. The circle of safety. Many bird species gather at night in tight roosts. These clusters form warm islands of safety suspended among branches. Each bird chooses a strategic position. The young stay in the center. The stronger ones take the outer edges. Experienced elders remain near vantage points. It is a system that needs no counsel, no planning, just silent cooperation. And as they rest, their breathing synchronizes, turning the roost into a single, gently slumbering organism. 2. Friendships that last for years. Some birds form deep bonds. Ravens keep lifelong companions. Cockatoos seek familiar faces in large flocks. Geese mourn when they lose a mate. Their friendships are quiet, expressed through proximity, gentle preening, soft calls, shared routes, is mutual trust in flight. Their social ties ripple through their behavior, shaping decisions, migrations, and even survival. 3. Avian negotiation and diplomacy. Bird conflicts rarely escalate. Instead, they negotiate with subtle gestures, a raised wing, a slight bounce, a brief vocalization, a choice to step forward or step back. To us, these moments are nearly invisible, but within a flock, they are rich with meaning. A hierarchy emerges, not through violence, but through quiet consensus. 4. Cultures passed down the generations. Birds have cultures. Certain groups develop unique foraging tricks. Some learn specific calls. Others adopt unusual mating dances. These behaviors are not genetic. They are taught, imitated, remembered, passed gently from parent to chick, like stories whispered across time. 5. The social map of the sky. When flocks take flight, their order is not random. Some individuals serve as leaders, while others prefer supportive positions. Roles shift fluidly, not fixed, not forced, just guided by need, skill, and trust. In these swirling formations, each bird carries a unique place in the community, just as each star holds its place in the night sky. Part 10. The Art of Survival. Strange behaviors with hidden purposes. The quiet genius behind the most unusual bird behaviors in nature. As the night settles deeper around us, let us continue drifting through the soft mysteries of the bird world. Those odd gestures, quirky rituals, and seemingly nonsensical behaviors that, upon closer look, reveal delicate threads of survival woven into their design. Some actions appear strange, some look whimsical, some even make scientists pause. But all of them have purpose, subtle, refined, and quietly astonishing. 1. Sunbathing. The ritual of warm feathers. Many birds participate in an odd practice. They spread their wings wide, lift their chins, and simply bask in the sun. Stillness. Soft breaths, open wings catching warm light. To us, it looks like meditation. To them, it is both healing and strategic. Sunbathing kills parasites, loosens oils for preening, relaxes flight muscles, warms the bloodstream for energy. It is a moment of avian self-care, a whisper of warmth absorbed through feathers and carried inward like a spark of comfort. 2. Anting. The strange partnership with insects. Some birds do something remarkable. They pick up ants and rub them through their feathers, or they stand still and let ants crawl across their bodies. A curious sight. Yet ants, when threatened, release formic acid, a natural insecticide. The bird's body becomes a gentle battlefield, where ants fight mites, bacteria, and tiny invaders. It is nature's quietest spa treatment, a ritual of cleanliness, cooperation, and delicate instinct. 3. Ground scratching and false foraging. Certain birds pretend to find food even when they haven't. They scratch the earth softly, tilt their heads, and act absorbed, not in pursuit of insects, but in deception. This performance distracts predators, confuses rivals, or lures unsuspecting prey closer before a swift strike. A small lie told with feathers. A survival tactic folded into their daily rhythm. A gentle theater between earth and sky. 4. The vanishing act. Thanatosis in birds. Some birds play dead when threatened. They lie still, eyes faintly open, wings limp, breath slow. Predators often lose interest in unmoving prey, or release the bird from their grasp, allowing it a sudden, fluttering escape. In these suspended moments, the bird becomes a whisper of itself, light, motionless, drifting between danger and safety. 5. Rain dancing and storm anticipation. Before storms, some birds hop more energetically, sing louder, gather in tighter flocks, abandon exposed perches. Their instincts register pressure changes long before clouds arrive. To them, the coming storm is not fear, but a message, a soft premonition, a call to regroup, a whisper of shelter in the wind. Through these strange little behaviors, birds become quiet, weather prophets, reading the unseen, adjusting, surviving. Part 11. The Cosmic Compass, Navigation, Magnetism, and the Bird's Inner Map. The invisible technologies woven into avian biology. Tonight, let us drift into one of the most mesmerizing mysteries of the natural world: the way birds find their way. Across oceans, across continents, across star-filled skies, they navigate not with GPS, not with roads, but with an internal architecture more delicate and profound than any human device. 1. Reading the Earth's magnetic field. Inside the eyes of certain birds lies a sensitive protein cryptochrome, capable of detecting magnetic fields, not visually, but as shifting patterns superimposed upon their vision. Imagine looking at the sky and seeing faint ripples of direction, softly glowing contours pointing home. That is how birds feel north, how they sense south, how they follow invisible threads stretching across the world. Their compass is not external, it is a quiet part of their biology, activated every time they lift into the air. 2. Celestial navigation in night migrators. Some birds migrate under starlight, trusting the constellations as their ancient guides. They memorize the rotational patterns of the night sky. They orient themselves using the North Star. They track the slow sweep of the Milky Way. Even on cloudy nights, their memory fills in the missing sky, a soft internal panorama stored within their minds. 3. Landmarks stored as emotional echoes. Birds do not remember landscapes as shapes. They remember how places feel: a cliff's updraft, a valley's humidity, a river's cool airflow. These sensations become emotional coordinates, not logical, not numerical, but deeply embodied. A bird may return to the same tree year after year, because it remembers the warmth of its bark, the angle of the morning sun, the safety braided into its branches. 4. Scent. Pathways in the sky. Albatrosses, shearwaters, and some petrels have an extraordinary sense of smell. They follow vast ribbons of ocean scent. The faint aroma of plankton blooms, the subtle exhale of distant islands. To them, the atmosphere is a tapestry of invisible fragrances, each one a gentle signpost. 5. Learning the world through movement. Young birds do not immediately understand their maps. They learn them through slow glides, looping flights, curious detours, mistakes corrected by instinct. The sky becomes their teacher. The wind becomes their compass. The earth becomes their quiet, steady guide. Navigation is not an ability they acquire once. It is a lifelong conversation between bird and world. Part 12. The Deep Quiet. How birds rest, restore, and dream with the earth. The soft science of avian sleep and the gentle art of renewal. As our journey continues, let us slow down, settling into the hush of nighttime, where birds soften their movements and turn inward toward rest. In the dark, their bodies change, their breathing deepens, their feathers settle like falling snow, and in that stillness, the ancient rituals of avian rest quietly unfold. 1. Unihemispheric sleep. Half a brain awake. Many birds sleep with one half of the brain resting, and the other alert. An eye closes, the other remains open. Half their world goes dark, while the other half gently monitors danger. This delicate balance allows them to sleep while floating on water, rest while migrating, stay safe in exposed perches, respond instantly to predators, a calm vigilance, a quiet resilience, a sleep unlike any human rest. 2. Sleeping on the wing. During long migrations, some species sleep while flying. Their wings glide automatically, guided by muscle memory and instinct. Their bodies drift through currents, while their minds slip into feather-light dreams. The night sky becomes a cradle, cloud banks become soft blankets, the wind becomes a lullaby. 3. Communal warmth and roosting rituals. At dusk, thousands of birds may gather in a single roost. Their bodies share warmth, their feathers overlap, their breathing harmonizes. Inside this living nest, the center stays warm, the edges remain alert. Communication becomes soft and rhythmic. It is a sanctuary of shared sleep, a slow, collective sigh releasing into the night. 4. Preening before slumber. Before sleep, birds perform a gentle ritual, smoothing feathers go, aligning barbs, applying oil, shaking loose dust and debris. It is a form of self-care, a physical meditation, a soft preparation for the night's stillness. 5. Dawn chorus. Waking with the light. And when the first rays of morning touch the world, birds awaken not abruptly, but gradually. A few whispers of song, a stretch of the wings, a flutter of readiness. The dawn chorus is not loud at first. It begins as scattered notes of recognition, a quiet greeting exchanged between companions as they welcome the new day. In this slow return to wakefulness, birds realign themselves with the rhythm of light, stepping once more into the delicate choreography of life. Conclusion, where the sky grows quiet. And now, as our long, gentle journey through the secret lives of birds comes to a close, let us drift together into a softer rhythm, a place where the sky grows quiet, and every flutter of a feather fades into the hush of night. We have wandered through open airways, floated along invisible winds, and traced the delicate geometry of migration across continents. We have stepped into the inner worlds of birds, their memories shaped by wind and light, their dreams woven from instinct and skybound stories, their societies stitched together through whispers, glances, and shared breath. Every strange behavior, every quiet adaptation, every tiny decision made on a branch or beneath a cloud, each one carries a purpose older than time, a soft intelligence, a gentle resilience, a kind of wisdom that doesn't need language to express its place in the world. In watching them, learning from them, and drifting beside them tonight, we have touched something calm, something ancient, something peaceful that has always existed, just beyond the edge of our human senses. Birds remind us that life does not need to rush, that survival can be graceful, that movement can be effortless, that even the simplest rituals like preening before sleep or circling the air before landing can hold a quiet beauty when seen with patient eyes. They remind us that the world is full of subtle messages, threads of wind, textures of air, soft calls exchanged under moonlight. Nothing is random, nothing is wasted. Every feathered motion fits gently into the great tapestry of nature. And as night deepens around us now, listen, somewhere in the branches, a small bird settles its wings. A distant owl exhales into the dark. A whole world of feathers and breathing and peaceful motion softens into its nightly embrace. Let that calm wash over you too. Let the slow rhythm of their world become the slow rhythm of your own breath. Let your thoughts drift like a murmuration, loose, floating, unhurried, until they dissolve into stillness. You are safe here. You are drifting with the night. You are gliding gently across a sky designed to hold you. So, as you sink deeper into rest, carry with you the softness of their flight, the quiet of their hearts, and the deep, enduring peace that birds have known for millions of years. May your dreams be light, may your sleep be deep, and may you wake with the calm certainty that the world is always whispering to you, just as the birds do. in their own ancient, gentle way. Good night, and thank you for floating with me into the quiet sky.